All right. What is going to happen? There's two Vikings questions. Number one, what is going to happen with Dalvin Cook? And also, any thoughts about Danielle Hunter staying in a Vikings uniform?
So Dalvin Cook, it feels like, is just going to be traded, but I'm not sure
Where
or how. The issue for the Vikings is that, he's a $14 million cap hit in 2023. They do save almost $6 million in cap space by cutting him. Now we are, of course, it is May 25th. So in
actually, it is not May 25th. It is Monday, May 30th.
My bad.
So June 1st is 2 days away, if that's what you were specifically.
Well, one, it may be a bad idea to ask this question now when this mailbag is not going to air for 5 or 6 days if Dalvin Cook is traded over the weekend.
Hello, everyone in the chat.
Yes. Hello, everybody in the chat from the past. I think that when you look at what the situation for the Vikings is, as of after June 1st, if they cut Dalvin Cook, they would save $9 million in cap space. Because June 1st, if you designate him a post June 1 release, can you cut somebody after June 1st and designate him not a pre-June 1st release? Probably not.
No, then you would cut them before June 1st, Brinson.
Right, exactly. Point being is that if they cut him before Tuesday, they would save $5.898 million, $5.899 million in salary cap space. If they cut him afterwards, it would be $9 million in cap space. So I think at this point, if he's not traded over the weekend or he's not traded by today, if he hasn't been traded as of now, they're probably just going to cut him after June 1st and save that $9 million and let somebody else pick him up, because it tells me that no one is really interested in taking on his $14 million salary cap hit. And I don't think the Vikings will want to hold on to it either.
Yeah, I think, Brinson, that hits the nail on the head. And I do think if the Vikings were able to trade him, a trade would have happened already. Because look, the thing that teams were waiting for was, hey, let's get to the draft. Let's see if we draft a running back. Let's see if we need a running back. Now teams have had a month to kind of assess their situation, figure out if Dalvin Cook is somebody they need. And no one is calling the Vikings. And then you look at his salary cap hit, as Brinson mentioned, and I think Minnesota's got to be thinking, yeah, we're done. I mean, you don't change your Twitter header and take out your star running back unless you're planning on getting rid of that star running back. It's like if you had a girlfriend or a significant other and they're like, are we broken up? And you're like, no, we're fine. But then you change your Facebook profile to you with another girl and your profile picture to you and they're like, okay, something's messed up here.
You think that's the reaction is okay, something's messed up here?
Or
when you start posting pictures of another girl,
no longer in a relationship.
Yeah, you're like single as hell and you start firing up Tinder. Like, I don't think it's like, okay. I'm just curious what's going on here. It's like, what the beep?
Well, I think Dalvin Cook got the message.
That's the point. I would.
Yes, everyone would. Yes. If you're dating somebody and they show up on Tinder, you can be
not
upset.
dating them.
Which, by the way, that has happened to a friend of mine. She was dating somebody. I was swiping on some apps, and I'm like, this your man?
Yeah.
Did she say they were dating, or did he say they were dating, or did they both agree that
they were dating? And then he was swiping on the apps, and then it was like, oh, it's old. I wasn't really on, and I'm like, no, bro, because at that point it was when the app said how long somebody was on there, and it was like they were on 24 hours ago or something. So
well, and it's like, but it's like a profile picture of like somebody from like 2 weeks ago. You know, like I had somebody, I know somebody who got caught like that, but they forgot to delete the app when they came back in town. And it was like, all of a sudden it was like matching with like, and they're like, what the, and it was like, oh, I was just trying to find some friends from my high school. And it's like,
yeah. You're always going to get caught with that, everybody on here. All right.
So don't do it. So real quick to finish that thought though, is that I think Dalvin Cook gets cut. I think it happens at some point in June. I don't think there's any way he plays for the Vikings. And as for Danielle Hunter, I think that it was smart for the Vikings to keep him. I mean, once they shipped off Zadarius Smith, it was pretty clear that, hey, Danielle Hunter's sticking around. We're probably going to give him more money because we cannot let him leave. We can't let the guy who had 10.5 sacks last season leave this defense when we don't have Zadarius Smith anymore. So I think that kind of cemented Hunter's status in Minnesota as a key player on that defense. So I think it's smart. I mean, we're talking about a guy who has had double-digit sacks in 3 of the past 4 seasons. So, I mean, he's a huge part of that defense. And with Zadarius Smith out, he becomes even bigger. So I think it's a big deal that.
Wait, did they give him more money? Did I miss?
Did they? I know. I don't think so.
I don't think so. If you look at you look at Danielle Hunter.
I think he wants more money, is what I'm saying, and I think they will eventually give it to him.
So he's in the final year of his deal because I believe the last 2 years are automatically voided with the final 2 years of 2024 and 2025 are void years. So he's in the final year of his deal. If they cut him, even as a post-June release, so right now they would actually lose $6 million in salary cap space if they cut him before June 1st. If they cut him after June 1st, they would save
Danielle Hunter?
Yeah.
He's not getting cut.
Yeah.
They just traded Zadarius Smith.
No, I agree. I'm just saying, like, he's not going anywhere.
Yeah.
Now, but after June 1st, they could cut him and then free up $6 million in salary cap space. I'm not saying they're going to do that. I'm just saying that that's like where they're at. Like this is a really well-structured contract because the 2 void years and then like this year, if you're like last year, if they cut him, they would have lost $17 million in salary cap space. This year would be like 5.5. And he, 29-year-old pass rusher. Certainly he wants a new contract. I would suggest that go ball out this year and then go hit the free agent market this offseason.
Yeah, but I think he doesn't want to play for the $4.9 million base salary that he feels like he deserves more than that. And so he's basically saying, hey, give me more money. And now
that's right. When he signed this deal, it was below market. Yeah, that's right. He signed that deal. It was like 5 years, $72 million for a guy who was like 25 at the time. Yeah, that's your problem, pal. Actually, I take that back. Poorly structured contract. You can't cut him, but like you're not going to give him more money.